Shalom. All praise goes to the Most High, Yahweh, Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashim, Rakah Kwadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the Akim out there pushing this word in all sincerity and honesty. I'm the brother Korah Allah and Lord Will. I'm going to tell a quick lesson. Alright? The first script I'm going to start off with is Matthew's 10 and 5. And it reads, These 12 Yahweh Shah sent forth and commanded them, saying, Go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not. That's right, the 12 that he sent forth is going to the 12 apostles. And he says what? Go not into the way of the Gentiles. In other words, the heathen nations. Alright, the so-called white man and the rest of the heathen nations. Go not into the way of the Gentiles. Alright, meaning what? Don't go try to deliver them. Alright, the Lord ain't dealing with them. And into the city of the Samaritans enter ye not. Right, because the city of the Samaritans was ran over by heathen nations. Alright? So that right there proves what? The Lord is not dealing with heathen nations. The Lord's not dealing with the so-called white man, right? They cannot be saved. Now this here is Acts 6, verse 1. And it says, And those days, when the number of the disciples was multiplied, there arose a murmuring of the Grecians against the Hebrews, because their widows were neglected in the daily ministration. Now, the word we focus on is the Grecians against the Hebrews. Okay, I read it again. And in those days, when the number of the disciples was multiplied, right, the church grew, there arose a murmuring of the Grecians against the Hebrews. Okay, now they're talking about actual Greeks, Edomites, murmuring against the Hebrews, the true Jews of the Bible. No, that's the Grecians. If you look at the word Grecians in this scripture, you get the word Hellenists. All right, and what a Hellenist is a Jew that speaks Greek and also follows Greek customs. All right, because you had Greeks, because like read in Matthew's, the apostles aren't sent to the heathens, but they were sent to what? Israelite foreigners. Okay, they were sent to Israelite foreigners. So you had Israelites that followed the Greek custom, all right, and they were called Hellenes or Hellenists. Okay, so in other words, you had Israelite foreigners that argued against the Jews, the apostles, 12 apostles, all right, and the rest of the church. Now, I'm getting another script. This is Acts 10, verse 1. There was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion of the band called the Italian band. There's a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion. Right, so this man was a general of a Roman army, of the band called the Italian band. Right? So when you read this, you would think, okay, this guy got to be Edomite. Well, how could that be? When you read on, it says, a devout man and one that feared the Most High with all his house, which gave much alms to the people and prayed to the Most High always. All right. So this man was a man of the Most High, man. He followed the Lord's commandments to the best of his ability. All right. He saw in a vision, evidently, about the 9th hour of the day, an angel of the Most High coming into him and saying unto him, Cornelius. And when he looked on him, he was afraid and said, What is it, Lord? And he said unto him, Thy prayers and thine alms are come up for a memorial before the Most High. And now, the Most High was dealing with him. All right, but when is how is the Most High going to be dealing with Edomite? All right, it says, and now, as men of Joppa, and now send men to Joppa, and call for one Simon, whose name is Peter. All right, so how could Cornelius be an Edomite? All right, if the Lord is dealing with him, man, the Lord just sent him a messenger, an angel, to give him orders. All right, now how could the Lord be dealing with him if he's an Edomite? If you go back into Psalms 50:16, it says, "Woe unto the wicked, the Most High saith, What hast thou to do to declare my statutes?" Right? Now our people, two-thirds of our people, are being wicked, but the wicked is the so-called white man. All right, Esau, according to the Bible, Edom. But unto the wicked, the Most High saith, What hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? All right, what have they done? Okay, nothing. They ain't, the so-called white man have not done anything to declare the Lord's statutes or take the Lord's covenant in his mouth, man. Because everything in the scriptures, all the law, statutes, commandments, they take it and they turn it upside down. All right. If the scriptures say, "Don't be a homosexual," they give homosexual rights. You know, and so on and so forth. A man shouldn't wear a dress. They put a dress on a man. Okay, and so on and so forth. So they have not done anything. All right, to declare the law statutes, man. But here it is. This Cornelius, back in Acts 10 and 2, a devout man, and one that feared the Most High with all his house. All right, so even his house feared the Most High, which gave much alms to the people and prayer to the Most High always. This is I jumped to Acts 10 and 34 real quick. Then Peter opened, because after Peter met Cornelius, okay, and they sat down. Then Peter opened his mouth and said, "Of a truth, I perceive that the Most High is not respecter of persons." All right, because why? Because although this man was in the army, in Esau's army, he was still a man of the Lord, and the Lord still dealt with him. Why? Because he was still an Israelite, and he knew that. Okay, and he knew that, and he followed the Lord's statute commandments. It says, then Peter opened his mouth and said, "Of a truth, I perceive that the Most High is not a respecter of persons." So Peter saw that it doesn't matter about your outward appearance, all right, but your spirit, and do you go back to the nation of Israel? That's what it all boils down to. This is 1 Corinthians. I'm about to wrap this up. I get this one last chapter in Acts 16. Acts 16 and 1. Then came to Derbe and Lystra, and behold, a certain disciple was there, and and Timotheus, the son of a certain woman, which was I read it again. Acts 16 and 1. Then came he to Derbe and Lystra, and behold, a certain disciple was there, named Timotheus. So Timotheus was a disciple. So straight off the back, you got to know this man is a Jew. All right, this man is from the nation of Israel. It says, the son of a certain woman, which was a Jewess. All right, his mother was a Jewess, meaning what? She followed the Lord's commandments. All right, she didn't forget her nationality, and believed. But his father was a Greek. Meaning what? He was a Hellenist, man. He was a Hellenist. He was a Jew that spoke Greek, and he was a Jew that converted into Greek. Not converted, but he was a Jew that believed in Greek customs. All right, but his son is a disciple. So how could the father be a Greek, but then Timotheus be a Jew? That's confusion. All right, the seed go back to the man. So obviously his father had to be a Jew, but his father was of followed Greek customs. Okay, this is First Corinthians 12:1. Now concerning spiritual gifts, brethren, I would not have you ignorant. You know that you were Gentiles carried away onto the dumb idols, even as you were led. Right, you were Gentiles, man. All right, you were Gentiles, Israelite foreigners. Okay, you were Gentiles carried away onto those dumb idols. Right, you see the nations and their gods, even as you were led. That's right, even as you were led, man. And how did this happen? Through the curses. Okay, through the curses, you go all the way back to Deuteronomy uh, 28:16. It says, "Curse uh, Salakia 28:64," and it reads 28:64 says, "And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, with which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone." Right? Because when we was in Egypt, what they called us Egyptians. They called Moses was called an Egyptian. All right, but that does it mean he was Egyptian? All right, does that mean that people were Egyptian? No, they just followed uh, Egyptian customs, man. But they were Israelite foreigners. And with that, I hope brothers was edified. I want to say all praise goes to the Most High, the Son, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Kwadash, double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the Akim out there pushing this word in all sincerity and honesty.